So good morning, Ashley. I'm Amanda. Welcome to our session today, and it's so great to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thanks for having me.
No problem. What is it you would like to discuss with me today?
I've just been having some anxiety, especially over some storms.
Okay. Is there a specific incident that you could use to explain this to me?
Yeah, so in the past, in 2021, our family kind of went through a tornado coming through our area, but we weren't directly impacted. Our home was fine. But through that, hearing it and seeing the devastation and seeing all of that firsthand in our neighborhoods, like now anytime a storm comes, like I feel like my insides are shaking, like I can feel like I'm gonna throw up. It's just, I just feel all kinds of emotions. I know I'm scared, I know I'm nervous, but I also don't want to show that to my kids. So if you can help me figure out some ways to help with that, that'd be great.
So, just to paraphrase our issue here,
Yeah.
whenever storms come through, you get anxious and nervous, and while you feel all those things, you also bottle them up because you don't want your kids to also feel those things.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so specifically you said that you would like to just ease that nervousness and anxiety that comes along with storms.
Yeah.
Okay, is there any other what's what I'm looking for? Any other incidents that you can maybe use to explain a little bit more?
I mean, I feel like I have just general anxiety about like large crowds of people or the unknown of what's gonna happen. Like I'm a planner, and so to not know what's gonna happen or what's coming up kind of makes me a little anxious. It gets me a little nervous. I overthink a lot of things with that scenario, and all that relates to storms as well. Like I overthink like the what could happens and what's gonna happen and worry about what's gonna happen a lot more than I used to whenever I was younger. But just that general feeling of like my insides are shaking and I just can't contain it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
Okay.
So you said that you hold it in so that your kids don't experience that.
Yeah.
Do they also have this kind of nervousness?
They do. My older son more than my younger, which he goes to counseling and he's medicated and whatnot, but he does have some anxiety about storms and the unknown. He's very much he takes after me, I guess, in that instance. But he works on breathing techniques and we try to do those together. But sometimes that's not enough for me. Like just breathing through it is not enough for me. So, you know.
So you said that you help him with just breathing techniques and things like that. Is there anything else that you do that helps him specifically?
Yeah, so we talk through his emotions a lot. We talk through like how he thinks he's feeling. And then I'll reiterate like, so you said you feel really mad, especially if it's little brother, like you feel really mad at him when he doesn't want to play with you. Eventually we'll get through it. Like a lot of times his is rejection. He feels rejected, and so we walk through that and talk through that with him and then help him calm down by like getting his heart rate lower by breathing deep, and sometimes bear hugs help him. That helps me too, but sometimes bear hugs will help him as well with his anxiety.
So the talking through of it that you do with him, does that help you at all?
It does. I find it hard for me to talk through it with anyone though, because like my husband doesn't really understand. He's just like the type of person to, well, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Like we'll go with the flow with whatever comes our way. And I'm very much the opposite of that. Like I want to know what's going to happen. I want to know what the plan is. I want to know when we're leaving. I want to know when we're coming home. I want to know all the things on a daily basis. And he is not. Like he'll plan a vacation 2 days before, literally. And that's hard on me.
Right. For sure. Definitely. So with that being said, personally for me, if I'm feeling anxious, I can either like look around the room and just ground myself based on what is around the room just by observing,
Mhm.
or sometimes I can just pick a random color and then find things throughout the room that are that color.
Okay.
So is that something that you would like to try?
Sure.
Okay, so let's just do the color thing. So
Okay.
let's just pick red.
Red. Okay. The red spot game. The red on my energy drink. Fire alarm. How many do I need to do?
As many
4
as
or
you
5.
want.
Okay. The headbands game. Yeah, that's pretty good.
So, like I said, that's something that really helps me a lot. Is there any other instances that you feel like you need to discuss?
Yeah. So specifically, like, I don't know. I feel like I might get it from my mom. She had anxiety and she deals with some depression too. And I don't deal with depression necessarily, but sometimes I let my mind overwork and I overthink a lot of things. And so I will kind of, with Levi, with my son, I call it revving himself up. But like I'll fixate on something and I'll think about, excuse me, all the things that I did wrong or that I said wrong, or especially like if people are around, if I've said something and I think, why did I say that? I must have sounded really stupid, you know. And I don't really know if that's, I guess it's more social anxiety. I know we've kind of talked about the storms and the different kinds of things, but I guess I just have a lot of anxiety in general. But like I'll overthink things a lot, especially in conversations with friends or at work. I will just fixate on what I said, what I could have said differently, why I said it, probably what they think, like imagining what they might think of me. I don't know how to get myself out of that cycle. So, like breaking the cycle of worrying about what other people are thinking or doing or how I've sounded or whatnot. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like I'm really stupid when I explain that, but I feel like it's just an overwhelming need for me to compare myself or to judge myself and overthink a situation.
No, I think that's definitely something that a lot of people deal with. Me personally, I also deal with the same thing.
Yeah.
So I can definitely understand where you're coming from when it comes to that. Like I said though, the grounding thing is really a huge thing for me because it'll get you out of the overthinking. It puts your mind on something else.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have about 2 minutes left.
Okay.
So just to summarize our session, so we've talked about a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
All to do with anxiety, from the storms to just general to social. And then we also talked about, we talked about your little boy and how you help him and how sometimes those techniques help you.
Yeah.
But also we gave you the grounding in the room to try out and see if that helps. So definitely make sure that you try that. Is there any questions that you have for me?
Yeah, okay, so looking around the room and finding like a color or maybe a shape or something like that, and to try to trick my mind to get it to think about something different. So is there anything like that, maybe not necessarily color, but like a physical, tangible thing that I could do? Like, is there like a finger, like is there anything like I can do with my hands? Because I feel like I fidget a lot.
Okay, so maybe you could try what you were just doing with the tapping your fingers.
Okay.
And see if that maybe would help, or rubbing them together. Just something that's a little bit, it's still kind of a fidget, but it's not going to be as noticeable as some of the stuff that you may be doing.
Try to focus on that, like
Yes.
focusing on those things. Okay, I think I can do that.
All right, well, if there is no other questions, then I appreciate you coming, and I hope that I will see you again.
Yeah, definitely want to schedule another visit.
Awesome. Thank you
Thanks.
very much.
Thank you.